Well, some students at Wits University say they are appalled at the university's management and its reaction to an alleged rape on campus. They want the alleged perpetrator to be removed from the residence, and they're demanding an apology for the way the matter has been handled. Let's find out what is happening at the moment. Wits University Vice Chancellor Adam Habib joins us on Skype for reaction. Adam Habib, good morning to you. Thank you indeed for your time. Let's talk for a moment why you understand the students involved in this want an apology on the way the situation was handled. What do you know about the way it was handled, or perhaps wasn't?
So there's been a lot of allegations and counter-allegations around the issue. There's a lot of Twitter debate around the matter. It seems to me that we as a management, at least as an executive management, cannot respond on the basis of the Twitter discourse. What we have to do is find out what actually happened. So what I did immediately on returning on Thursday morning from an overseas travel is yesterday I phoned the complainant, the person that had been victimized. I spoke to her and I spoke to her mother. I heard her side of the story, what had happened, what her interactions were with a number of structures we have on the campus, the gender office, the office of residence life. And I checked with her whether she felt that she was unfairly treated. She did say that in some cases she was very well received and very well supported, but in other cases that support was not as responsive to her needs. And so in a sense, immediately we've got these structures and we've got these policies. And so I've put in place a review of what worked, what didn't, and what happened in this case. I've asked somebody, a notable activist, somebody who's an enormous amount of experience on this matter, to investigate the issue on our behalf, Nominee Sugasa. She's agreed in the next 48 to 72 hours to investigate this matter and report which of our systems work and which didn't, and is there any action that we need to immediately take.
And I'm sure we'll follow up on that, Adam. Forgive me for interrupting you. So that is the systems in place at Wits. There is the obvious question that needs to be asked. If there is an alleged rape, has a charge been laid with the SAPS?
So the question is, initially, the individual did lay a charge. Subsequently, we were told that the charge was withdrawn. I spoke to the individual yesterday, as I said, and she has agreed that the investigation should proceed. And so I have instructed a full investigation with short timelines, and that investigation will be conducted on both fronts, within the university front, and if need be, if criminal charges need to be laid, there will be criminal charges laid and action be taken. We will get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible.
We are seeing reports, Adam, this morning that the alleged perpetrator has been removed from campus. Can you confirm?
I do know, and they are that he's been removed from the residence in particular. There's been his picture has been put on online facilities. I want to urge people that you have to operate within the framework of the rule of law. You cannot start engaging in kangaroo justice. So what we will do is we'll deal with it firmly. We will deal with it expeditiously, but we will deal with it in compliance with the rule of law. And that's what we are urging. And that you'll see I released a statement very early this morning saying what we're doing, setting up timelines, and saying this is the nature of how we're going to address it. But I also spoke to the complainant, and she's very open to the idea of a broad deliberation on the issue of rape. You heard your earlier report around this is a massive scourge and we need to address it. And I am open to ensuring that a deliberation happens. But it has to happen in a way that is sensitive to her interests and to those of other victims of rape in our society.
And just as a final question to you, what is your reaction then to the rather scathing statement by the Wits Junction House Committee? They say, and I want to read it as is, Adam Habib, if you don't mind, I don't want to misquote them. Rape culture permeates itself all the way from first years during orientation week to senior members of staff and academics, and Wits continues to protect rapists. What's your response to that part of the statement I just read?
So this is where I worry about irresponsible statements. They have made this committee. Have they named names? Have they come to me once and named a name? so that I could take action. In 2013, 44 people, senior members of staff, were responsible. They were fired within minutes. And this is where I find irresponsible statements, where student leaders think rules do not apply to them. The other day we had a conversation, there's a woman activist who walked in with a whip, as if a shambok is necessary or legitimate in this institution. So I have given instructions for people who do not obey the law, who walk around with whips. They will be disarmed, and if they don't stop this practice, they will be suspended. If student leaders, like the Junction House, want to take responsible behavior, they must come. They must put names on the table. Don't make statements. Don't engage in a politics of spectacle. We don't want to create a Trump politics in South Africa. And that kind of behavior is Trump politics. So if you have names, bring it in. I will investigate it, and we will take action. But don't use the media as the platform to make things when you don't use institutional structures. Have they been to the gender office? Have they reported the matter? No, none of them are. Instead, they engage in what I call the politics of spectacle. And this has become a common practice among students in our society. Now, that's the question that has to be challenged. If you want to be treated with respect, then don't behave like Donald Trump. Engage in an appropriate way as is required in a democratic society.
Adam Habib, thank you very much indeed for taking time to speak to us today. Vice Chancellor at Wits University giving reaction to the scathing statement from what is known as the Wits Junction House Committee on what is now known as rape at Junction. Adam Habib saying that they are dealing directly. In fact, he is dealing directly and has spoken to the alleged victim in this case. We will continue to watch this story very closely over the next few days.